Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Lonnie here with Iceberg Entertainment. Today, I want to kind of do a little video on editing vocals that have background bleed um, or breaths and things like that that you just don't need in a mix. Um, some people like to use, um, plugins such as like a deep breath, um, gates, all those types of things. Even de-essers can come into play. But today I'm just going to take you through. I'm gonna walk you through how I edit vocals without having to use, a any type of plugins and other special effects, so to speak, when we're doing when we're editing vocals. I'm also going to go over like some aesthetics. Excuse me, can't even talk right now. Some aesthetics when it comes to recording the vocals. Some things that can help you improve, um, the actual performance and things like that with your artist in the studio. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. I'm going to go ahead and consolidate this. And actually, this is what I'm gonna do real quick. I'm gonna delete these fades on the end. We don't need those, especially for what I'm about to show you. Now, I didn't record this. The session was actually sent over to me. So the people who recorded these vocals, there's some things that should have been done a little bit differently. While we're in here, I want to take a listen at this. Actually, let's see. Okay, let's see what was going on. So basically, there's information that was cut off and so forth. So I'm gonna get rid of these real quick, and I'm just gonna trim these out to about right there. All right. I'm gonna do the same thing with this, because who knows what was going on. I don't care. Just the portion of this reason for me doing this is so that I can show you basically how I edit vocals, right? Now, mind you, I've already done editing for the portion of the song that's going to be actually played. So, but for the purposes of the video, I'm just going to be showing you how to edit these. So first and foremost, I'm going to consolidate these tracks. First off, when you consolidate, the audio name is going to change. And since it's information that we don't necessarily need right now, we don't really need this track or these audio files. Doesn't really matter what happens to them. So first off, I'm going to unmute them. And then I'm going to hit Shift Alt 3 on the keyboard. And it will consolidate with this particular name up here. So first off, let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of excuse me. Go into view. I want to get rid of the clip gain line. Let's get rid of that. All right. So let's zoom in real quick. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. All right. You see all this stuff right here? All this right here is bleed. That's bleed over from headphones, background noise, from the maybe monitors in another room or something like that, so that's what we're experiencing right here. So let's solo that and let's hear what that sounds like. What? Sorry about that. Okay. So it looks like we need to, let's make sure things are solo saved, because we should be getting audio. Oh, I know what the problem is. Let's go to our master fader and make sure that let's go to the master fader. That's what we need to fix. I've already edited this song and so forth. Actually, you know what? Let me just do this. I apologize, guys. I'm just gonna go here. Let me get rid of this EQ. Let me get rid of this. It's all this extra stuff on the screen. What was I doing? And I'm gonna highlight here, and I'm just gonna go up to the master fader, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna turn this basically up. 12. Let's get that boy at 0 right there. All right, cool. Let's go on back down here, and we're gonna do the same thing, which is basically just listen to this piece. What is happening right now? CPU acting crazy, but it's all good. Anyway, so listen at this. So, I mean, that is some extreme background noise. Extreme background noise, guys. Okay. When you're recording, I'm not sure, how you guys are recording, but make sure, if you need to turn certain things down, turn them down. You know what I'm saying? That way you don't have too much bleed going on. I know that a lot of people don't have like $1 million studios and stuff, but if you're recording in a home setting, and let's say you don't have a microphone or a headphone preamp or stuff like that, where you can actually turn down the headphones, or if you're mixing in this or recording in the same room with the monitors, use headphones. Don't have the monitors up. You and the engineer need to have the headphones on, so you guys can eliminate unwanted noise, such as what we got here. So, all right. Now, also, if you can hear here, this is a breath. And what we want to do in this video, in the editing process, is we want to take those out. Okay. Now, first off, we could just go ahead and just delete it off, just like that. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Do the same thing with yeah, I'll just delete it off because I want to show you guys other stuff with this track. And you create a fade. Creating a fade. Fades are going to be your friend when it comes to certain editing techniques for vocals and other like instruments and things like that. These fades are a lifesaver. Now I want to go to the tail end of this. Okay. So you can kind of hear again, here's that breath that she took, because she's now setting up to get into this next piece that she's about to perform. Let's listen. I mean, you got the smacks from her, trying to get set up, but we want to get rid of all that. So first off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right here and I'm going to hit B on my keyboard, and then I'm going to trim this back a little bit. I'm going to save this little breath right here because we're going to kind of ramp. We're going to fade into this piece and see how it sounds. Do you hear that? It's a big difference from that breath that we heard. Let's go ahead and play the actual. Do you believe? And if you can hear, you heard how that came in. Do you believe? So, and that's an extreme breath right there. Okay. So I got my first fade there, or my second fade. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a fade here too. Just like that. Now, if you got Pro Tools 12, you can slide your fade, with the software, which is actually pretty dope. And let's hear how that ends. Do you believe? Okay. So again, you want to make sure you get those fades, just right. We can kind of drag this out just a little bit more. Trim that out just a little bit more. Let's hear how that sounds.
Do you believe?
All right, so you got the idea of what we got going on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through this real quick. Again, I can show you how this sounds. Actually, my bad. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the reverb off. Now, excuse all this stuff over here. Usually, I kind of label all this stuff, but obviously, when you're working kind of fast, you kind of miss certain things like that. I mean, hear all that, man? That's crazy, isn't it? So I'm just gonna hit B right here. Trim this back this way, and then I'm gonna do that right here. Now sometimes you can go all the way up into the vocal. I usually like to get right there on the end of the vocal, just like that, and then just kind of fade it in, do a little curve on it. Let's see how it sounds.
Do you believe?
I mean, it almost sounds like there's a little bit of effect on here.
Do you believe?
Like you hear some phasing a little bit.
Do you believe?
Nevertheless, when this is played with the music, you don't really hear. You can't really hear all that anyway. Let's see here. I'll play this with the music a little bit.
Do you believe?
Okay, so you got the picture. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this part up right here. I mean, that's just stuff we don't need, man. That's just crazy. Let's see how that sounds. Alright, just cleaning it up a bit. And sometimes instead of just cutting this off, you can just fade this back or trim it back like this. Okay. And a lot of engineers may not want to spend the time editing, but if you get an actual professional, engineer or mix engineer, they're probably going to go through and do some editing and making sure that your vocals don't have bleed as such as what we're experiencing right now. Now here's that really extreme breath right here. Oops, sorry, wrong one. I mean, that's just super extreme. Okay, and let's go ahead and I'm gonna trim. Actually, you guys have seen me do some of the fades. So now what I'm going to show you is basically I'm going to talk about the aesthetics of this vocal track. I'm going to take all that out real quick, and then I'll start talking about the actual performance. It's cool, man, to get, of course, when you're recording and stuff, you can get so tied up in, well, I want to get paid for my services, I want to do really fast work and so forth and so forth. And I tell you this, the artist will respect you more if you tell them to go back and record it again, because you're in front of they can't see the screen like you can see the screen. You can see exactly what's going on. You can tell them, hey, I think you might need to go back and do that again, so that and drag out your performance a little bit better. Because if you see here, all right, let's highlight down here. This is information that's been cut off. Okay, she stopped singing. So you have to be, kind of like the coach in the studio and tell them, hey, let's do that again. So here's the information that she cut off. Okay, of course, this piece right here. Okay, and here's the other part. This is what she cut off here. All right, that right there can't happen. You have to make sure that you go back and you tell that artist, hey, let's do this part again. And if you could just drag it out a little bit more, you know, that's what Pro Tools is. Pro Tools is the software that lets you go back and do certain takes, you know, instead of you having to, you know, just settle on one take. You can do numerous takes and have certain playlists and things like that. So again, when you have your artist in the studio, make sure you just tell them, hey, can you go back and do that again, please? Let's make sure we get those vocals to line up, you know, even better.
Do ya?
I mean, clear. I mean, you can see how clear that is with, you know, how she just stopped singing right there. Now, also, one of the things that you can do here in this process is understand that you know, with the reverb on and stuff like that, you know, that's going to have an effect on, let's say, for instance, if let's say you cut it off too soon or something like that, the reverb is going to allow you, it's going to give you that space. It's going to give you that, you know, perhaps more of that character that you may have ended up having to cut off due to some of the bleed or the fade on the end. The reverb is gonna somewhat give that back to you in a sense. I mean, this right here, this one is an extreme one. Let's hear this.
Do ya?
This right here is what I'm talking about, guys. I mean, you can't have your performer do this right here in the studio. You have to go back and be like, hey, I'm gonna need you to do that part again, and you know, that way you have a better recording, you know, and you can't be lazy. You know, some people in the studio, man, they like to get lazy and stuff, and you know, and we run into stuff like this. Here's another. This is a huge breath. Okay, yeah, we want to get rid of that. We can fade in. Sometimes if you do just a fade like that, it's still kind of extreme. So I'm gonna just bring this back like this. I'm gonna leave some of it on there just for a little bit of just to keep the character of the vocal. Check it out.
Do ya?
And that's not too bad. You know, it sounds pretty natural and so forth, but you know, having a huge breath like that, you know, can be you know, just sound like you just need to go back and do the vocal again. Point blank.
Do ya?
Again, this right here is like unacceptable. You can't have your performer go in the studio and do that right there. That's unacceptable. Okay, you have to go back and make them do it again. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have taken some things from it in regards to, you know, vocal performances in the studio from your artists. You know, getting them to go back and, you know, do things over again. It's very important that you do that. Let's take a listen real quick before we exit.
Do ya? Do you believe?
Let's add in our reverb.
Do ya? Do you believe? Do ya? Do you believe? Do ya?
So there you have it. Again, you can throw your reverb back in there to add a little bit more character to the vocal. But what I'd recommend you guys doing is remember to always make sure you go back, and if you need to have your artist redo a part again, have them redo it. That's going to be a lot better than you not having them redo it and then leaving it all upon the mix engineer or editing engineer to go back in and fix what you failed to do during the recording session. Cannot be lazy, engineers out there. You cannot be lazy. Other than that, I appreciate y'all watching the video. Make sure you top and tail some of your. Make sure your edits or fades are in the right places, and of course, vocal performance. Having your artist go back and do certain parts again. Again, hope y'all enjoyed the video. We'll see y'all next time.